Get ready for an adventure. Here is a story called The Lost Crowns of the Mountain. High atop the sparkling summit lived Prince Pirate Bear, a bear with a golden crown, a pirate eye patch, and a heart as pink as a flamingo. Ahoy, mateys! He'd boom, his voice a warm rumble. Beside him stood Zoggy the Robot Pal, a salmon-colored robot who zoomed around with a cheerful beep boop. Zoggy could transform into 15 different shapes and spoke 42 alien languages. They were the best of friends and always up for an intergalactic game of hide and seek. The sparkling summit was a place of joy, filled with music that made your toes tap and dancing that made your heart leap. Camila, a young girl who loved to dance, would have loved it there. Every day was a festival, but today was extra special because Prince Pirate Bear was holding a crown celebration. He had a collection of 37 different crowns, each with its own story. Today, he was going to display his rarest, a crown made of pure stardust. "Ready for the festivities, Zoggy?" Prince Pirate Bear asked, adjusting his eye patch. Zoggy beeped excitedly, his bubble machine humming with anticipation. Suddenly, a loud whoosh echoed through the air, and a mischievous gust of wind swirled through the summit, scattering colorful confetti and taking something else. "My Stardust crown!" Prince Pirate Bear cried, his voice filled with surprise. The wind, it seemed, had stolen more than just confetti. It had snatched the Stardust crown. Zoggy, transforming into a detective shape, zoomed around, scanning for clues. "Beep boop, I detect monkey paw prints," he announced. Andres, who loved running, would have been the first to volunteer in this case. Prince Pirate Bear and Zoggy followed the tiny footprints, which led them down the mountain, through fields of sparkling flowers and over babbling brooks. "This calls for some serious detective work," Prince Pirate Bear exclaimed. "We must find those mischievous monkeys." They arrived at the Whispering Woods, a place where the trees seemed to share secrets. There, among the branches, were the mischievous monkeys. They were a playful bunch, always giggling and causing a little bit of harmless fun. But when Prince Pirate Bear and Zoggy approached, the monkeys scattered. "Follow them!" Prince Pirate Bear called. And off they went on a chase. They ran and ran through winding paths and over mossy logs. It was like a game of tag. Zoggy zipped and zoomed, his feet barely touching the ground. After a long chase, they cornered the monkeys near a giant honey pot. "Did you take the Stardust crown?" Prince Pirate Bear asked, trying to sound stern, but his voice was filled with kindness. The monkeys, startled, shook their heads and pointed to another object, a delicious-looking honey cake. "They took the honey cake!" Prince Pirate Bear and Zoggy exclaimed together. "No, we didn't take your cake, we just wanted to play!" chirped one of the monkeys. The monkeys were not the culprits. Suddenly, they heard a whoosh again. This time, another thing disappeared, the honey cake. They followed more monkey tracks. Then, more tracks and more. Finally, they found the true thief, an enormous, grumpy buzzing bumble, who was trying to get away with both the Stardust crown and the honey cake. He was so upset because the monkeys had stolen all his honey. "That's not right," said Prince Pirate Bear. "Sharing is caring." Zoggy chirped. "If you are not going to share the honey with the monkeys and the rest of the summit, I'll have to take it," Prince Pirate Bear said, with a voice of thunder. "But I don't like sharing," said the buzzing bumble. "It's boring." "Well, it's not boring at all. I love to share my crowns and sing and dance," Prince Pirate Bear said. "And I love hide and seek," Zoggy exclaimed. Prince Pirate Bear proposed a solution. "Let's have a party." He invited all the monkeys and the buzzing bumble. He showed the buzzing bumble that sharing is as fun as keeping everything to oneself. The buzzing bumble, softened by the kindness, returned the Stardust crown and the honey cake. Then he started to share with the monkeys. And because he could share, he also learned to sing and dance. Back at the sparkling summit, the crown celebration resumed. But this time, it was even more joyous. Camila would have loved the music, and Andres would have loved the games, because they were all together. Prince Pirate Bear wore the Stardust crown, the monkeys were swinging and dancing, Zoggy was running around with his bubble machine, and the buzzing bumble was enjoying the honey. The lesson was clear. Sharing and friendship make everything sweeter, and everyone enjoyed the party. The end. Let's see what a great listener you are. Can you answer the following question? What did the mischievous monkeys steal at first? Let's see how you did. The answer is, the mischievous monkeys didn't steal anything at first, but they were accused of stealing the Stardust crown and the honey cake. You did a great job. Thank you for listening to Story Pie. I hope to see you again soon.